was handcuffed to the bed. My mouth was taped shut. I started to panic, squirm and twitch, but soon gave up, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked around the room I was in. Posters with photos of my favorite performers were hung on the walls. There were statuettes of my favorite movie characters on the shelves. There was a stack of comics and anime on the bedside table. In the middle of the room there was a TV, a Sony set-top box and a lot of different games stacked next to it. "So, listen up," he said, "remember that I'm here to help you, and I would never hurt you, okay? Drive." Stevenson removed the tape from my mouth and unhooked me from the bed. The first thing I wanted to do was cry, but something about Drive. Stevenson calmed me down. He smiled at me. "You're going to be here for a while, and while you're here, you're allowed to play with any toys in this room while I'm at home. But when I leave home, I'll have to chain one of your hands to the bed. You can watch TV, but while I'm away, I want you to watch only the news channels." "Drive," Stevenson said. I sat frozen, still trying to figure out what he had said. "So, go have fun. I'll be back when it's time for dinner." He turned on the TV, got up and left, locking the door. A few minutes passed before it dawned on me that Drive, Stevenson wasn't joking. All I had to do was turn on the console and play. Around 7 p.m., Drive, Stevenson returned to the room, holding 2 plates of pasta and slices of pizza. I finally gathered my courage and asked how long I would be here. "Well, about a month," he replied, "give or take a few weeks. I have things to do." The next morning, Drive, Stevenson woke me up by patting my hand. "You don't have to get up right now if you don't want to, but I need to put them back on," he said, snapping the cold metal handcuffs on my wrist. I looked at him. He was wearing a shirt and slacks, a coat was slung over his shoulder and a suitcase was next to him. He also dresses for school. Before he left, he put the TV remote next to me and told me to turn it on and watch the news. The first thing I saw on the screen was a piece of breaking news. A police officer stood surrounded by people with microphones. "That's what he said. A search team was launched this morning. There is little evidence at the moment. The teachers claim that the girl was last seen around 4 or 5 in the evening." I felt sick when my picture appeared on the screen. There were changing inscriptions above my photo. "The police are starting a search for the child. The identity of the kidnapper has not been established. A potential escape." The live report continued, and I saw 2 figures that I recognized as Mom and Dad. Both had red eyes. Tears were pouring from my mother's eyes when she took the microphone. She sobbed on live TV, saying, "Please give me back my child. I'm sorry. Please come home." When my father took the microphone, I expected it to be cold, as always, but he had tears in his eyes. "I know I haven't been the best father, but damn it, I promise I will be. Please return my daughter to us." I turned off the TV. My emotions were mixed, because I had never seen my father cry. I felt guilty that my parents had to go through this, but at the same time I felt relieved. Now I know how much my mom and dad love me. Drive. Stevenson took care of me for almost 4 weeks. In the morning he would leave me strapped in by the bed, but he would come back in the afternoon to have lunch, talk and play together. But one morning, when Drive, Stevenson woke me up before he left, I noticed the tension on his face.